So there I was, in my home, and it started raining outside. As I sat on my couch, I listened to the gentle drum of rain hitting my window, and the foggy clouds and dreary sky gave me an excuse to stay inside and eat week-old microwaved fish and drink off-brand Mountain Dew. As if I needed an excuse for that anyway, Amazon calls me to open its app, and it's there I see its magnum opus, 2025's War of the Worlds. I'd heard about it, I'd read about it, watched reviews on it of course, and I thought to myself, could it really be that bad? Everywhere, people are calling it the worst movie of all time. I mean, come on guys, we live in a universe where movies like Jack and Jill, Troll 2, and The Room exist. Although to be fair, those movies are so bad they transcend their genres and become cult classics. It can't be that bad, can it? It does have 2 stars on Amazon. That's better than 1. So I decided to dust off the breadcrumbs on my shirt and watch it, and well, what can I say? I'm serious, what can I say? It's bad. Review over, end of story. I mean, calling it a movie at all is pretty generous considering half of it is told through text messages and screenshots. First off, I can tell you without a doubt this is one of the worst adaptations of H.G. Wells' classic we all know and love. I mean, fish sticks taste more like salmon than 2025's War of the Worlds reflects its source material, and I'd rather take the 5-day bloat of fish sticks than watch this movie again. For those of you who haven't seen it, God bless your soul, here's what you're missing out on. Ice Cube plays William Radford, some sort of techie threat detection officer for Homeland Security. The man alone somehow magically has access to all of the country's surveillance imaginable, a type of surveillance I doubt even the president has, even to the point he can commandeer drones. No one at Homeland Security sees a problem with this? Well, the movie starts by Ice Cube using this technology to spy on his kids, we'll get to that later, and track down a hacker group called Goliath. He tracks their location and sends the FBI only to discover the hackers used a decoy. It is here, however, where the real movie starts. During the raid, asteroids hit the Earth and unleashed aliens upon the world. Yay, we'll finally get to that signature Hollywood action, right? Not quite. Instead, we get a 10-minute B-movie documentary-style montage of the aliens taking down critical infrastructure around the world. Power grids, military, water, railways. I kid you not, in the span of 10 minutes, the aliens basically gain control of Earth before the audience even begins to understand what they are. No build-up, no tension, no emotional investment, and critically, no momentum or sense of urgency. Ice Cube contacts the heads of state, including the president, and they plan an attack on the alien tripods. The tripods go after the world's data centers where they hyper-download their data. Their words, not mine. The military systems around the world are taken out like wet toilet paper, and it's at this point in the movie where all logic starts to get lost. We get jets, planes, and helicopters just falling out of the sky like the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes, and it all happens in like 60 seconds. The problem becomes clear in this movie by this point, and that's the fact that most of the action happens off screen, and we're just explained to what happened like toddlers watching a PowerPoint. And this gets me to one of the biggest issues I think this movie faces, and that's its illogical use of time and pacing. We have things like the invasion just happen, and then all of a sudden in the next clip, reporters are already on the ground reporting on it as if they just teleported there. Then 30 seconds later, we're told the military is already taken out, or the aliens have already captured half the world's infrastructure. It's like the movie makes it a point to skip all of the most interesting aspects an alien invasion would consist of, only to show us the mundane bureaucracy of a DHS worker sitting in his office. I get it, that's the gimmick, that's the movie, and it was filmed during the pandemic, so I get where they were coming from, but let's be honest, no one wants to watch a 2-hour Zoom call, especially if you're not getting paid to do it. I get better entertainment out of watering the mold in my bathroom. So then we find out that the aliens feed off data. literally feed off data. How that works, I don't know. Maybe someone can explain it to me because the movie never does. Power grids are attacked and tension builds up as Ice Cube tries to find a solution to the problem. Well, he finds out that his son is actually part of the hacker group called Disruptor they had been looking for all along, and the son reveals that their group has been working to expose the government for their involvement in the invasion because they had started a mass data collection program called Goliath, and that's what had attracted the cybernetic aliens to Earth in the first place. Get all that? Now, this part's a little over my head, but apparently the government knew about the aliens, had seen the aliens before, knew that they feed off data, and knew that the Goliath program would probably ignite an invasion, and they proceed to do it anyway. So, despite knowing exactly what would happen, they doomed the world anyway. I guess this guy Briggs from the DHS was behind it, but it still amazes me that no one else in the government tried to stop him, or at the very least have a contingency plan in place to destroy the aliens if they came here. No. Instead, we get a plot that's largely devoid of logic. Like, if the cybernetic aliens feed off data, why would they need this Goliath program as an excuse to invade anyway? Wouldn't we have enough data for them to feed off of as it is? What's that? Who's there? Oh, it's Squeaky, everyone. I feed the thing one Snickers bar and he thinks he's my house guest all of a sudden. What is it, boy? What are you saying? You like War of the Worlds? You serious? You want me to buy you a copy on Blu-ray? Yeah, bro, this is a streaming movie. That's not really how it works, and I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Yes, I know you're entitled to your opinion. Well, why don't you start your own YouTube channel then, huh? No, not up on the couch. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Ice Cube and the Disruptor team come up with a plan to upload a virus to the data centers the tripods are harvesting data from, but most of the team, minus Ice Cube and his son, die when they triangulate their locations. They discover here that the aliens are part cybernetic, and that in order to stop them, they need to create some sort of cannibal computer code and upload that to the data centers so the aliens cannibalize and destroy themselves. Ice Cube's daughter creates the code because apparently she can just do that in like 2 minutes. And before he can race to upload the code and save the world, he needs to find a flash drive. And how, oh how, dear viewers, are we going to get that flash drive? Who are the real heroes of 2025's War of the Worlds? Why, Amazon Prime, of course. The world is ending, but for some reason, we need to place an Amazon order to fly a flash drive to Ice Cube. And how is the internet even still running at this point? My internet goes out when a bird takes a crap on a power line, yet somehow their internet has survived an alien invasion? Well, thanks to Amazon Prime, Ice Cube races to the data center to upload the cannibal code, the aliens die, and that's it. That's the movie. The movie ends with some weird moral lesson about not invading people's privacy, but it comes off ham-fisted because that's all they did the entire movie. I'm looking at you, Ice Cube. As the credits roll and the sound of thunder continues to hammer outside my window, I'm sitting here wondering what I'm doing with my life, and more importantly, what the absolute state that cinema is in. How did 2025's War of the Worlds manage to get almost everything wrong? Why has Hollywood abandoned what makes movies so magical and replaced it with soulless Temu knockoffs? War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise wasn't perfect, but it at least had some decent emotional investment and a sense of urgency. Should I have listened to the numerous warnings about this rendition? Yes. Is it worth your time? Probably not, but it is fascinating on an analytical level. The concept of 2025's War of the Worlds is flawed on a fundamental level. Who thought it would be a good idea to turn a sci-fi action thriller into an entire movie that's seen through a computer? The whole movie on a screen trope is rarely pulled off well, simply put, because it's not engaging. It doesn't allow you to get to know the characters well, and more importantly, the last last place it should be used is in an action movie where the main draw is action. When everything is from the perspective of a computer screen, you become detached from what's happening and the events unfolding. When the entire movie is fast TikTok editing and text messages on a screen, what you have is not a movie, but a Twitter thread. I kid you not, the entire movie is like a text adventure game that you have no control over. In addition to this, it's pretty clear that the movie made heavy use of stock footage, and it really does show. A lot of it seems pretty random, especially the news reports or military footage, a lot of which doesn't even show what they're fighting against, and if it does, the action lasts just a few seconds or more per clip. The CGI is far below Hollywood standard. The editing, while the best it probably could be given the context of the script and movie, kind of made my head hurt. There are so many illogical scenes in the movie too, like when Ice Cube hacks his daughter's boyfriend's truck. How is he even talking to him? Through his GPS navigation? There's this hilarious scene when Mark successfully stops Ice Cube's daughter's massive leg bleed with packing tape? Huh? I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, guys. I'll tell you one thing, that's gonna hurt being ripped off. Ice Cube's ability to just hack and access anything instantaneously is a bit baffling. And I know I said this before, but the movie doesn't have a sense of time. You never know if minutes pass or hours. As a viewer, you're just left assuming everything is happening at once, even when it wouldn't make sense to. Does the movie have any redeeming qualities then? Well, I suppose the acting wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not great either. I feel like most of the actors in the movie were victims of their scripts and limited by their direction. Every major actor in this movie has proven that they can act, but there's only so much you can do when you're probably only scheduled for a 3-day shoot with one camera and one take. Also, I suppose the idea of cybernetic aliens that feed off data is kind of interesting, but when you pair it with Amazon ads and a bit off-the-hook messaging about the use of surveillance and data harvesting, it does fall a bit off the rails. I will say this, I was at least able to finish the movie. Many people claim they couldn't get halfway through, but I was at least able to get to the credits. It's watchable, but there are so many better movies out there that are much more worth your time. I didn't get to the side stories in the movie, but to be honest, there's just not much there. There's a few scenes following Ice Cube's daughter after the invasion and how she met up with Mark. There's a few clips of the son, the disruptor guy, and a few references to their mother who passed away. Eva Longoria is there too. She plays a NASA weather scientist, but she may as well not even be there because she's on screen for maybe 2 minutes? Most of these side scenes are very inconsequential to the plot and hold little emotional impact, so I'm not going to go over them here. All I'll say is, Ice Cube, man, just let your pregnant daughter have a muffin. Stop spying on your children and just let her have one muffin, okay? I will say this. Apparently the movie was made for under $10 million, according to producer Patrick Aiello. If this is actually the case, color me impressed. You might have actually gotten your money's worth out of the movie. You got Ice Cube, Eva Longoria, and Clark Gregg to star in your movie. You got CGI and music that's at least passable, and a finished product that, while leaves a lot to be desired, is at least watchable? Congratulations, I guess. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and hope you get a bigger budget next time. So, 2025's War of the Worlds does earn its title as being the worst movie made this year, and only time will tell if it reaches the cult status of so bad it's good. I have a hard time believing that, however. I think it's just a bad movie that will eventually be drowned out by hopefully a better adaptation in the future. There's just too much missing from this film. Story, acting, editing, and the stuff that was there didn't really leave me wanting more. Overall, I give this film an E for effort. As an effort has been made, that does count for something. If you were a film student and this is the first film you ever made, I'd probably give you a pass. But since this was made under Hollywood's watchful eye, I expected so much more. And me, well, this internet loser whose opinions don't matter and are entirely his own, I'm gonna lay myself down, dust myself up, and see what those conniving algorithms are going to offer me next. Oh, and Squeaky too. He'll be here too. If you're new to the channel, I do movie reviews, make cool concept videos, and write stories of my own. If you're interested, check it out. I think you'll have a good time.